Jones, we got beef.
Stick ties. Stick out. Stick ties. Stick out. Stick ties. Stick out. Stick ties. Stick ties.
And
Hockey.
Yes, sir.
Your boy, producer Jay.
It's not quite the same. But yeah, hey, no trail this week. Day to day, undisclosed
Yeah.
upper body injury.
That's all we can give out right now.
That's all we can give out right now. Big J, going from the chair to the other chair.
Mm-hmm. Stepping up.
Stepping up. I'm glad to have you here. I'm glad to be talking.
Appreciate it.
People don't know, like our relationship goes back a very long time with
It
the
does.
sports fandom.
Oh, it does.
It's been like, cause I met you 8 years ago, ish,
Yeah, roughly.
and that was deep in the Penguins lore.
Oh yeah, in the midst.
yeah.
In the midst of a cup run.
And that was when I was still kind of like on Philly.
Mm-hmm. I know.
So
I know.
you and Joel, who came on the show with the unspoken beef for a very long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, I got to see him one day.
Yeah, I guess.
gotta
Oh
see.
yeah, you weren't even here.
Yeah, I was in Alberta,
Wow, that's right.
which is crazy timing.
That's actually the most insane
That's
time.
crazy.
Is that like that's like the one episode you've missed
Yeah,
since we've started this?
that's
At Big J, the other Big J was here. Wow.
wow.
First up, as always, I am your host Tico. This today is my co-host.
Producer Jay, or Big J, or Jonesy. What?
Many
Any
names.
Of 'em. Any of them.
It's understandable. Speaking of though, that era bygone of when Sid the Kid was so good and the Penguins were winning cups. Sid the Kid and Alex Ovechkin both named to the 3 stars of the week this week. First time in 18 years that's happened.
That seems unfathomable. Like,
Yeah, it does.
I'm almost kind of surprised that they've done the 3 stars of the week for that long.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah, it does seem like a long time. It is a long time.
Yeah.
18 years. It's unbelievable. I mean, these guys have been so good for so long, and it's just crazy that, like, not just that it's the first time ever it's happened together, but that 18 years into both of their careers, they're getting 3 stars of the week still.
Yeah. It's like I think I texted you, like, Crosby had like the Penguins last
Yeah, like
4
5,
or 5
yeah.
goals. Just
It's like both so like cool and also just so depressing.
yeah. Hey, they gotta win tonight though.
They did
Against Ovi's Caps.
against Ovi's Caps. It was a good game
Mhm.
too, close to the end.
Big
What?
Nola Chari empty netter to secure it.
Wow, the boy. You were saying now too. It's interesting how, like, I mean, you got Ovi on your fantasy team this year
Mm-hmm.
for the first time ever.
Facts.
First time in your lifetime. Ovi
Big
is
Ovi
your
guy
boy.
right now. Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like morally incorrect.
By
Like I've never really liked Ovi.
yeah.
Like obviously I respect him a ton,
Sure.
but I've never like in my life cheered for Ovi.
No.
And now night in and night out, I was like, that's my guy.
That's
He
my
going
guy.
crazy. He going crazy.
Well, it's a cool thing, right, for Penguins fans and Capitals fans. Like, you know, like we said, the beef has ended
Yeah.
between those two franchises, right? It's not a
Yeah.
rivalry anymore. Maybe not the beef is like fully ended. I'm sure there's people out there.
I was talking crazy to my Caps friend just a few hours ago.
I believe it. I believe it. But like the years of the playoff stuff it's not there anymore. So it is cool to see like lots of Caps fans and Penguins fans like looking at the other ones and just appreciating it while it's here. It's kind of like the last few years of Brady, you know, where it was kind of like the guy still had haters, but most people were like, let's just watch this greatness, you know?
Yeah. Man, I don't. I get what you're saying, but I also think that Brady was still like super hated.
Yeah, I mean that's true, and still is.
Yeah,
But you like, do you not think Ovi has that too? I guess it depends on who you talk
I
to.
don't know. I don't. I feel like there's like a few metropolitan fan bases that definitely still have like some deep hatred for Ovi, but like I honestly feel like he's one of the most loved players in the league.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like most of the hockey world is definitely like big on Ovi. I think there's a lot of people and publications and places out there that want to see him break that record. But I also just feel like there's still a lot of like anti-Russian just for Ovi. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
I'll tell you at the bar straight up. There's lots of people who don't want a Russian breaking any of Gretzky's records. That's just so crazy to me. I mean, it's not crazy. I get it, but like whatever, you know.
you know, yeah. And honestly, like while we're here
Mm.
talking about Ovi, those Capitals have been pretty good
Yeah.
prior to tonight.
Well, yeah.
9-3. Well, 9-4 now.
9-4 now. Yeah, they've been impressive. I mean, look,
Yeah.
like, in the preseason stuff we did, we talked about them. Looked like a pretty decent team, and so far they have been.
I sent you some stats last night.
Mhm.
Worst power play in the league. 9%.
9% on the power play.
I think it was
That's
9.2.
Crazy. Rip.
So like it's pretty impressive to be 9-4. And Logan Thompson's been like solid.
Solid, yeah. And they needed him to be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. it's
So
good.
like I told you last night like I feel like they're a lock to make the playoffs already.
That's like a good enough start for them that, yeah, as much as like obviously it's so early, like just jumping out to that kind of lead from a team that like made the playoffs last year
Mhm.
is enough, I think.
And like the East looks really not good.
It's just very top heavy, I think.
Like once again, there's gonna be like two just not good playoff teams in the
Mhm.
East.
Yeah. Do you think the East is it's not worse than the West though?
I think I would say the West is better.
Yeah, like there's two bad teams, right? Like wait, who are the two bad teams? Columbus and Montreal.
Yeah. Philly's pretty bad.
Philly's pretty bad,
Pretty ass.
but like Philly will win games, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas like in the West, like you got Chicago, still bad. San Jose, still bad. Anaheim is like very similar to Philly,
Yeah.
like just like orange and will win games.
Yeah.
But I don't know, or maybe not like the West has more like basement teams, but like I feel like the like good competition in the West is not as good as the good competition in the East.
Yeah. For some reason, like I feel like whoever the wild card teams in the West are gonna be better than the wild card teams in the East, though.
Because
That's
like
kind of why I
right.
feel like the West is a bit better.
Right, you feel like if we're staring down the barrel of again like Washington and the Islanders
Yep.
versus like I don't know LA and I don't know, give me a central wild card team, not
Like if the Predators get it going,
or like Colorado even honestly could be a
Yeah.
wild card team with the way Minnesota and Winnipeg are going. Speaking of Nashville briefly though, Barry Trotz has seen enough.
mm-hmm.
Quote, if we don't get it going, I'm gonna start our rebuild plan. Woof. You know what I will say though, we talk so much about teams that refuse to see the rebuild when it needs to happen. I like to see a guy, first of all, call in the bluff, motivate the boys, but also like just not being afraid to say, if we gotta tear it down, we will.
Yeah.
I feel like you don't see that very often.
That's pretty true.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it does seem like a motivating quote. Like, not like there's probably some truth for sure,
Yeah,
but
he's definitely trying to get a rise out of him, right?
like, imagine if that was Sid in Toronto.
Yeah.
Like, you'd be getting chewed out
Oh, that
for
would
weeks.
be weeks,
Years.
in
Yeah.
fact. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and Barry Trotz though, right? Like this is a guy who, like, yeah, he's moved up into an executive role, but he's been a coach for a very long time. This is his first time in an executive role. He's very used to use the media to incite the room thing. You know what I mean? Because you see it with different coaches, and coaches have their own things, right? Like some coaches will be like, after a loss, super supportive, right? Be like, oh, I thought we really gave it our all out there, blah blah blah
Yeah.
blah. And then after a win, be really critical and be like, yeah, we play well, but fucking, But then you'll see other coaches who are like kind of the opposite and like are just like, we played like ass when we lost. And both of them are like using that, right? They know the players are gonna see those. They're using that to get a rise out of the group, and I think that's what Barry was doing there as well.
If man, like trading, I really can't say his name, Askarov,
Yeah, Askarov.
and signing Saros is a brutal decision. Like,
It's a tough one, but I do also kind of think we ripped it a lot. I do also kind of feel like with goalies, they got put in a really tough position.
yeah,
It's really hard to, like, how many top tier goalie prospects have we seen turn into absolutely nothing?
that is true.
So like, it's a lot easier to like go with the guy that is a starting goaltender, whether or not he's a good starting goaltender. He is one, versus the guy who could be elite but also could be nothing, and then you have zero goalies. I don't know. I guess when you're Nashville, you kind of have to make home run swings because they already have been taking home run swings.
Yeah, it's
But-
like they had to do that because of how all in they went,
Mm-hmm.
when they probably shouldn't have went all in.
Right. Yeah.
Like, yeah. And what do you think starting the rebuild means? Starting a rebuild plan? Like, those guys that just signed contracts, Marchessault, Stammer,
Yeah.
Shea,
Yeah.
you're not going to be able to trade them. I really don't think.
Maybe. I feel
Well-
like there's a team out there like Marchessault, probably not. Stamkos got 4 years, $8 million. That's a lot, and it's a lot of term for a guy who's 34. But like, could you find someone who would take that at 50% retained? Probably.
Probably, definitely. There's like a politics angle, though. Like, is
Yeah.
it like a horrible look?
It is, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't think but like I don't think you could do that now. You absolutely couldn't do that now. But like, if part of your rebuild plan was like just keep Stamkos' value high through this season and maybe next season, and then trade him when it's like 2 years left at $4 million,
Yeah.
that's a possibility. You definitely can't turn around and trade a free agent you signed in the offseason, though. Like, I know I do it all the time in Chell. It doesn't
And
happen.
They get on you for that.
they do get on you for that. It doesn't happen in the NHL, right? For a reason. Like, these guys decide to sign with you. They make that decision, and it would be a huge deterrent to other free agents, obviously. So, I don't know. Like, the new ones, you're kind of screwed. You're not getting a ton for Ryan O'Reilly, I don't think.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. And then, like, you're not going to trade Roman Yossi.
No.
So then, Gustav Nyquist. That's it.
That's it.
That's the rebuild plan.
Well, as all of us in present company can attest to, Gustav Nyquist is the boy, right?
Elite 1 First line winger.
I'm gonna need to
Nah.
edit Trill just like screaming.
I they look but Nashville does look very cooked though.
They absolutely do. That's gonna be one of the hardest, like, if it doesn't work at all, like the hardest situations to unravel.
Yeah, I just wanna see on my phone. They like still aren't really getting it together.
Let's see.
Like they've been doing fine. Like they started 0-4.
They did start 0-4.
I think they've been like 500 since, but that's really not getting it done. Woof. They
4-9-1, still at the bottom of the Central.
4-5-1 since their 0-4 start. Ain't getting it done. Ain't even close to getting it done.
Yeah, you're in a very bad spot when you're ever below the Chicago Blackhawks.
They probably tied with the Sharks. No, they
got
under the
less
Sharks.
points than
oh,
the San
dear.
Jose Sharks. I'm gonna be real though. Like, okay, this is not like saying the San Jose Sharks are better than the Nashville Predators. I think almost every basement team from last year has stepped up a little bit.
Yeah, I
Like
think
San Jose actually has NHL players this year.
Montreal is the only one to me that's like actually worse. Like they've been horrible.
They've been horrible. They've been so
Straight
bad.
cheeks.
Like,
It's
yeah,
bad.
yeah. I thought they were gonna be a little bit better this year. Not like good, but like a little bit better. They've been just horrific to watch.
But like Columbus has been solid.
They're 500. Yeah, they also have less points than the Habs. Wow. Not
Oh, the Predators do.
Predators.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I still think you need more time to really like get the evaluation on it. You know what I mean? Like, it is such a different look team that you can't take 10 games and be like, they're cooked. You know?
Yeah.
However, like their season might be cooked.
For me, it's gonna depend on the gap, like the distance that they have to gain.
Yeah.
Because like we've said, it's early.
It is early, and like Colorado has been garbage too, so like that really does help them. But like honestly, the Central, they're out of the top 3 already.
Yeah. Right now, they are 6 points back of a wild card. Obviously, that's not good, but like it's not insurmountable for sure.
No.
And you know, Nashville was quite the second half team last year.
They were. Yeah, that's very true.
So I'm not like completely writing them off, but
It's like they say though, right? Like you can't win. You can't make the playoffs in the first 10 games, but you can get out of the playoffs in the first 10 games. And like, yeah, those top 3 spots are, I believe, set already. Like Jets, Wild, Stars have all been good, and they're all gonna make those spots.
yeah,
That is actually crazy though that Winnipeg is 13-1.
that's like that's unreal.
Yeah.
I saw a stat is like the first like 13-1, something like that, like ever.
It's
or some shit like
ridiculous.
that.
And like they're playing so good too is the thing. Like they're not riding high off a ridiculous PDO or like super high shooting percentages or anything like or save percentages. Like I mean they're getting great goaltending. Don't get me wrong, but they're the Winnipeg Jets. But yeah, they're just playing hockey and winning games. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know what the PDO is. I didn't check, but I did see that. Well, they are leading the league in shooting percentage, and it would have led the league by 3% last year.
Okay, maybe I'm actually tweaking on that then, because I thought I looked it up. I am gonna look it up actually.
Old muddy poke.
Yeah. So they're
think
they're
that-
7th in PDO.
Like that's For 13-1, that's real good.
They are so they're 7th in PDO. They are 17th in shooting percentage on shots on goal.
That's different from what us saw.
Yeah, I mean Money Puck, they don't have like just like raw shooting percentage,
Yeah.
which I appreciate because it's kind of it can be questionable.
One thing I also do want to know is that their power play is also at a historic rate right now.
Clicking. That'll come back to earth probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was gonna ask. Do you have a team that you think needs to commit to the rebuild? Because I actually think it's much less apparent than I feel like it's been prior as a hockey fan. Like I feel like for years it was like, okay, we all can see that Chicago has to rebuild. You know what I mean? Or even like Pittsburgh has to rebuild. You know, like, but do you have like a hot take or anyone?
I think Pittsburgh's too obvious, so
I don't even think you could pick Pittsburgh because I
Yeah.
actually think Pittsburgh is under the radar tanking already.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I will say I really want anybody aside from Crosby and Malkin to get traded.
Yeah.
Just bring
Fair.
me anything and everything.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
Maybe Boston could like hit a retool. I don't know. Thinking about a retool, it's honestly just about like having a really good draft.
It is.
Like
And-
people kind of point to the Dallas Stars.
Mm-hmm.
Like they made the cup in 2020.
Yeah.
We're like bad mid for a few years and then we're back.
Yeah.
But really that's all just because they hit on Jason Robertson, Jake Onger, Rope Hintz, or Wyatt Johnston. So like it's not really
Absolutely.
something you choose.
Yeah, but I think you have to commit to it, but only until you get lucky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because at the end of the day, the draft, it is luck. Like, if there was a science to it, then David Pastrnak would have gone first overall. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
there's we all can like speculate, and that's fantastic, but it is so luck based. And yeah, your rebuild, you do have to commit to it because you need good drafts. You need to have as high a picks as possible, but you also need to hit on them. The Canucks had top 10 picks multiple times, but they didn't get their guys until they got Pettersson and Hughes, and they didn't get them with lotteries. You know what I mean? They didn't win the lottery for either of them.
Yeah.
And then you have Detroit, who we go over quite a bit, who rebuilded forever and never got lucky. Tough.
Yeah.
It's actually in like a cruel and unfair world for them compared to Dallas. They must look at Dallas and just hate it.
Yeah. Definitely a tough question. Like,
isn't it crazy that like 2015 draft, I think it was, Boston had 3 picks in a row and whiffed all 3 of them?
yeah, and they drafted not like a total bust,
But like pretty
But-
close.
but not close to the.
Yeah, who's... I can't remember what it was now, but it was wild. It was like they whiffed 3 straight, and then it was like Barzil or something right after that, but I can't remember. It's a tough
Yeah.
question. I feel like Boston's the right answer. Like they need to commit to it. I do kind of feel like they goofed by getting Zadorov and Lindholm. I think they've realized pretty quickly, maybe Lindholm's not a 1C.
Yeah, I haven't seen much Boston at all.
Yeah.
But I have not heard good things about Elias Lindholm.
No, they haven't been happy with him. And I mean, Lindholm's been a guy through his career who thrives when you put him next to elite talent.
Yeah.
But I don't know if just David Pastrnak is enough.
Yeah.
My pick would be Detroit.
Yeah.
I just-
Detroit.
I like I said, they never hit on the guy. I think you need to not only hit on the guy once, you need to hit on the guy. Yo. Yeah.
Pause.
You need to hit like 3 or 4 times, or at least twice. Like, because New Jersey's another example of like they were bad for a lot of years. It doesn't matter how many years you're bad. The rebuild, there's no timeline on a rebuild until you get Nico Hischier and Jack Hughes.
True.
Which might be like, honestly, those two. Like, that's for real Taves and Kane-esque.
Is definitely got the potential.
Like, Nico Hischier, second favorited for the Selke right now, behind a guy named Barkov. I don't know if you heard of him. And then, I mean, Jack Hughes. I know that there's mixed opinions on Jack Hughes, but he's electric.
Yeah. You know what I was like thinking about is we don't talk about the Devils that much anymore. Which like I'm not necessarily complaining. I just noticed that though. Like Trill don't be bringing up the Devils like that.
No, we it's a little bit different when it's like now. I feel like 2 seasons ago when we first started, they were good for the first time in forever.
Yeah.
You talk about them all the time.
They were, yeah.
And then they were horrific last year. Mm-hmm. So you want to talk about them all the time.
Yeah. And now they're just like doing.
They're just good. They're doing what they should be doing.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a lot less like newsworthy stuff. I also feel like Trill, if we're being real, just watches more hockey now. And so not everything's a Devils reference. Which is cool. I do the same. Like, I mean, I talk about the Canucks a lot still, but like I definitely watch more games from other like random NHL games than I did before the pod.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the football season end.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna really lock in.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen too much hockey.
Right.
Truth be told, this year, aside from like the Penguins.
Watching the Penguins, yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Not a fun time.
No, I've been much more into football this year. Like, I mean, hockey's my number one sport. I watch hockey every day of my life. But like I've been watching a lot of football this year on the Sunday. Usually, like, because we do the pod here Friday nights to Saturday nights. Sunday, I edit while I got Red Zone on the TV or the Lions game if they're playing.
Yeah,
that's great.
I'm not gonna talk about football.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna get off track, but
yeah.
But I would love to
get into some.
I would.
Yeah, that's fair.
But let's stick with the puck here.
Let's stick with it. Do you want to go to Daccord? Should we do that?
Yeah, he kind of wild.
Joey Daccord, saying that goalies should be allowed to go past the red line, change the rule on the rush, run the clip.
You were forced to play both out and in net.
I wasn't forced. I still wish I could also play forward. Scoring goals is like so fun. Every time I'm not playing, I take one-timers at the end of warm-ups, and I got a pretty good one-timer in my goalie gear. If I could still like play forward on the games I wasn't playing goalie, I would totally do that. I tell Disco Dan like once or twice a week that I'm ready for like half-wall power play time.
Just ask him that on like delayed penalties if you can just swap your stick.
That's what I said. They need to change the red line rules so that delayed penalty, like, I'm not going to the bench. I'm going to the other team's net front.
That'd be incredible. Screening a goalie as a goalie.
Well, and think about with my goalie stick, like the tips I could do. I bet you I'd score like 5 goals a year.
Sweet. So, I think that's legit. I would, first of all, the only thing about it is, like, really, even if the rule got changed, no coach would ever let the goalie do that.
Yeah.
But they should.
A goalie screening a goalie, that'd be tough.
It could be crazy.
Yeah.
It would be very difficult to, like, see through. But, like, also, like, do you think instinctually, like, a guy like Daccord would be able to not, like, try and stop it?
True.
I'm so real. Like, Joey Daccord's one of my favorite goalies in the NHL right now. And it's actually not just because of the Winter Classic. It's also because, did you see that clip of him a few weeks ago when he tried to jump into the huddle after the OT win?
No, I don't think so.
Bro just kabloomed out of there. No, dude. Joey Daccord is that guy. Winter Classic legend. I think that's a great idea. I'd love to see it.
I always tried that in Shell, like back in the day.
Yeah.
Didn't work, but
I mean, When's the last time we saw like a Patrick Waugh spinorama type moment from a goalie?
Dude, I'd know it. Like, I'm pretty sure it was a Carolina Rangers game.
Okay.
And,
Word?
yeah. And like, I think it was, I almost want to say it was Freddie Anderson. I could be really wrong about that. But like,
I have no idea, so I believe you.
it wasn't like red line, obviously, but it was like at the blue line.
That's gas.
If we can find that clip,
We'll run it.
He put in the puck after it came off the boards. He hit the side of the net. Then he went over to. There's
Anderson stick handling with it. He's trying to get to the bench for an extra skater on the delayed penalty.
Oh boy.
Nothing beats watching hockey live. Truly, I've seen a lot of different sports. There's nothing like hockey. The chill of the ice, the sounds of people slamming against the boards, pucks off the glass. It's just fantastic. And if you're looking to catch a game, check out Game Time. Game Time has tickets to all of your favorite events, and that's not just hockey games, even though that's usually what I'm buying. They got concerts, they got shows, they got other sports, they got everything you could want. They got a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste your time searching through thousands of tickets. They have a super deal coming up. We've got the Flames and the Canucks, a good old division rivalry coming up tonight. You can get tickets at Rogers Arena for as low as $42. The UI is also incredibly easy. I love an app that just looks good, and Game Time has that for you there. It's super easy to get to where you're going, see every option available. Nothing beats that. And lastly, my favorite thing about the Game Time app, all in pricing. None of this garbage you'll see with competitors where you see a ticket price, you look at it and you go, oh, that's going to be perfect. And then there's 7 fees tacked on at the end and you're paying triple the amount by the end of it. With Game Time, you see the price, that's what you pay. Total upfront, no surprise fees. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time Picks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code THPN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code THPN for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game Time. Black Friday, Cyber Monday. What do we love about these 2 days? They give you deals you can't get any other time of the year, except with Raycon. Because with Raycon, you get an amazing deal on premium audio every day of the year. But that doesn't mean they're not having any sales for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Far from it. They're actually doubling down on their amazing value by offering my viewers up to 30% worldwide. A Black Friday deal you'll appreciate every day? Raycon's everyday earbuds, especially if you haven't checked out their latest model, which includes plenty of new features that make them even more of a must-have for any audio lover. For example, they got 32-hour battery life and multi-point connectivity that lets you pair with multiple devices at once. Raycon's everyday earbuds also come with active noise cancellation. It's a feature that's a must-have for me on long flights or even just in the airport beforehand, on a bus, wherever you are. That active noise cancellation is huge. And that's difficult to find at an accessible price point until now. Because that's another thing. Although Raycon's quality rivals some of the biggest names in premium audio, Raycons start at just half the price as the other guys. So they're already an incredible deal, even before you factor in their Black Friday / Cyber Monday offer of up to 30% off site-wide. I mean, today, we all know prices of everything are going crazy. Getting some premium headphones at a price that works for almost any budget is just a huge bonus for me today. And Raycon's everyday earbuds are also available in a variety of vibrant colors, so you don't have to just have the standard issue white or black earbuds sticking out of your ears like everything else. Now's the perfect time to scoop them up if you haven't already. And don't worry, if you're not as impressed as I am, Raycon offers a 30-day happiness guarantee, so you really cannot lose. It's time to save big for Black Friday. Go to buyraycon.com/THPN today to get up to 30% off site-wide. That's right, you get up to 30% off everything on Raycon's website when you go to buyraycon.com/THPN. The quest for the Stanley Cup starts now. The puck's dropping on the 24-25 season. Get in on all the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. It's super easy for first-timers to get started. Try betting on something simple like picking a team to win. Go to DraftKings Sportsbook app, select your team, and place your first bet. Coming up tonight, we've got a heater matchup, a classic 06 rivalry, the Boston Bruins and the Toronto Maple Leafs. You can find the Boston Bruins at plus 130 on the money line. I mean, whoa. Lines and odds obviously subject to change, but if you're new to DraftKings, listen up. New customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in New Hampshire, Oregon, and Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ftball. NFL Plus Premium offer available only to new and former NFL Plus subscribers. Additional NFL Plus Premium terms at nfl.com/terms.
Speaking of Carolina, Marty Necas, guy's humming.
He is indeed. I really wasn't aware of this.
Yeah.
Prior to seeing the notes here.
Sure. But yeah, dude. Let me pull up his stat line here. Yeah, no, this guy's humming. 21 points in 12 games. It looks like he's like stepping up into being like really elite offensive talent, and you need that. Like Carolina needs that, right?
Yeah. Like everyone knows how much Carolina struggles to score.
Yeah.
So
especially when it matters.
Yeah. So like Necas can really become one of those guys.
Yeah.
Like a Jake Gensel.
Yeah.
Level guy.
That's such a huge difference maker.
Could maybe sort of put them over the top.
Along with hopefully, in a couple years, you were saying.
Yeah, like they got some younger guys coming through soon.
Like you wonder if they're Washington instead of San Jose, right? Where like it's not the first wave of the team being really good, right? It's kind of that second wave that really brings them to the next level.
Yeah, I'm worried that the Capitals Cup ring is really what's carrying my like ideology of the Hurricanes winning, because I was like I completely wrote off the Caps after 2017, and they lost to the Pens again. I was like, oh yeah, they're done. It's over.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Ovi's never winning, but then they broke through.
I feel like you're not the only one though, right? Like I think lots of hockey fans look to that. I know I do for multiple teams. I tend to like make the comparison of will they be San Jose or will they be Washington, and you can't know until it happens, right?
Yeah.
I think the same about I've thought the same about Toronto for a long time. I think they need to do more, but I like the just keep trying thing. I think a lot of people and a lot of fans look at Washington as like, well, it could happen,
I brought this up to you like a few weeks ago. The St. Louis Blues are another example.
Yeah.
Where like the St. Louis Blues nearly had like the same season.
Yeah.
For like 6 years in a row.
Yeah.
And one of those times they just broke through.
Yeah.
And they won the cup.
I mean, it is just a little bit of one of those things where like if you keep just like putting yourself in the best position possible, you have to get lucky. You can't. It's not like the NFL where you have this like you have your 2 years and it's like these are your two best years. You better win it. it is much more like so much. I mean, in every sport, so much has to break, right? But truly, you have to be hot. Your goalie also has to be. You have to be healthy. Other teams have to not be healthy. Like it's, I don't know. I do think there's something to be said. I would even say Vegas,
Yeah.
like to a lesser extent, but it took what 5 years?
Yeah, like they were knocking on the door for a while.
Yeah.
And then, like, aside from missing the playoffs once, like.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I don't know. And even Tampa Bay had a President's Trophy in a
Mhm.
first round sweep.
And, you know, Tampa Bay is another example of that second wave.
Yeah.
They made the Cup in 2015,
Mm-hmm.
and then they fell short to Pittsburgh. And then they just flat out missed the playoffs
Yeah.
in 2017.
Yeah.
But, like, they had that second wave where they hit
Right.
on
Braden
pretty much
Point,
fucking everything.
everything. Yeah.
So, like, that second wave is very
If that's
real.
what Carolina gets here, if they get a second wave, that could be what puts them over the top for sure.
Agreed.
And then Kirill, unbelievable stuff from Kirill the Thrill. 27 points in 14 games. I believe he's second right now, second shortest odds to win the Hart. That's per DraftKings Sportsbook. Only behind Nikita Kucherov, who I think is riding a bit of a. I mean, he's been very good, but riding a bit of a high from winning it last year.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it should just always be McDavid is the favorite, even though he's been out and had a rough start. But Kaprizov's making a real name for himself.
He is for sure. Do you think how much do you weigh team success?
In the Hart.
Yeah. Because like Minnesota, if Minnesota continues this pace and they're like the second best team in the West.
Mm.
Does that weigh heavy and for Kaprizov's case over a McDavid or like a Kucherov?
It
Does
like
that,
to
does
me
that matter?
to me it's one of those things where like it can be a factor.
Mm-hmm.
It can be a factor, but it's not like the end all be all for me.
Yeah. It's horrible in basketball.
What do you mean?
Like, you can't win the MVP without being like at least the top 2 seed in your conference.
Really?
Yeah, it's ugly.
Really?
Same with football. So like I actually kind of appreciate how hockey doesn't do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But funny enough, I think it would be impressive in Kaprizov's case just because it is the Minnesota Wild.
I agree.
Like
Even though they're playing well, like it's the Minnesota Wild at the end of the day.
yeah.
And like it's so easy to see like the stark contrast between like a player performance and the team performance, or like when they rise together, it's easy to be like this guy caused it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's tough, right? Because like Connor McDavid is so clearly the reason Edmonton's so good as well.
That's true.
So
For
like
sure.
any world where you're picking against McDavid, like I think it's hard to use that. And even like Kucherov, because I really just don't think Tampa Bay's that's ridiculous either.
Mm-hmm.
But they've played dang good. They played some dang good hockey.
Kind of surprised me, even though.
Me too.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I know you had Jake Gensel, but you lose Sergachev and Stamkos.
Yeah. Sergachev did miss a lot of time last year.
Yeah.
So like, just straight up compared to last year, like
Right.
it's not that steep of a drop off for them, I'd say.
Yeah. I wonder, like, I mean, so I haven't watched too many Tampa Bay games. I watched them play the Hurricanes. I watched them play the Canucks. And I think I watched one other game from them. But Vasilevsky looks unbelievable. Unbelievable again.
Yeah.
And that's huge for that team, right?
I remember saying in like the season previews.
Yeah.
How like Vasilevsky has either come off of a deep playoff run or entered a season injured for like a lot of years in a row.
Yeah.
And that this is the first year where like things are just back to normal.
Right.
And I think we're seeing the effects of that.
I think you're right.
Kind of back to form.
Yeah, I might get burned really bad for putting him in the same tier as Charlie Lindgren. I'll eat it. We'll see. We got some weird stats to pull up. Now, these are from about a week ago. So some of the things are a little bit different now, but
About a week ago.
it's about a week ago. Yeah. But just some very crazy NHL stat comparisons this season. This is from Binner Memes on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
McDavid and Matthews combined for 20 points in the NHL season so far. This was at the time of, 6 days ago.
Yeah.
Kirill Kaprizov was at 21, more than both of them combined. Woof.
Yeah. Has Matthews picked it up since? As a Austin Matthews fantasy owner.
As a long time, Austin
Keeper.
Matthews.
Mm-hmm.
No. Like, I mean, he's been okay, but slow. And now he's not playing at all. He's been hurt.
I didn't know that, to be honest.
Yeah, he hasn't played a game this week. They retroactively put him on IR. So that's from like last Saturday. So I don't think he's eligible to play tomorrow. But hey, it's what the boys needed. I may have shot him in the knee on the bus just to get a rise out of the ESPN team, but
You did.
Next up, the Bruins record when it was 4-6-1, right? The last time the Bruins were under 500 at any point in the regular season was October 3rd, 2018.
This isn't the first time I've seen this.
Yeah.
But it just clicked with me.
Yeah.
That the last time this happened, they went to the Cup. The 2018-19 season.
I don't know why you say that. No, why you say that?
It ain't gonna happen.
No, it ain't gonna
Absolutely is
happen.
not gonna happen.
You see Corpusalo on Plays of the Month?
No.
Yup.
I doubt.
Incoming Conn Smythe, Jonas Corpusalo. That is ridiculous, though. That's 6 years
That is
being over 500.
That's egregious, actually. I feel like that didn't even like really resonate with me or like click with me like that.
It's ridiculous. I was talking to my brother, who's he likes hockey. He's a Canucks guy, but like he's much more of an NFL guy and an NBA guy than he is NHL. And we were doing like team comparisons, like I was saying how Dallas is the Leafs, things like that. And he was like, "Who's Boston?" And I was like, who is Boston? And I was like, "Dog, it's you."
Green Bay?
The dang Packers.
Yeah.
Every year I'm like, this team should be bad. Finally, they should be bad. And they're just not.
Yeah. There's some big similarities there actually. I think they both won their championships in 2011. They did. I can attest
that is true.
to that,
yeah.
actually.
Was that the Arizona one? No. That wasn't the Arizona Super Bowl.
No.
That was the Steelers they played, right?
It was.
Green Bay played. Who'd they play? Lil Wayne had the song Green and Yellow.
Yeah.
I remember that. But anyways, and just like also like big market classic team.
Mm-hmm.
Never
And, like,
falls off.
Like Boston's fell short big time a few times in the last few years. So of the Packers.
So the Packers. Yeah.
I wonder like the type of nightmares that the San Francisco 49ers give Kaz.
And me.
Like, oh, I know. That boy Kyle Shanahan.
Yo, for real. Like I've said it a lot in my day-to-day life that my number one beef is the San Francisco 49ers for doing me so dirty. And everyone. Doing everyone dirty. If you're out there, you own a fantasy football team. First overall was Christian McCaffrey, unless someone thought they were, 5D chessing, and they probably were.
I was.
whatever. I don't want to hear it, Jay. But the whole like, oh, it's a strain. It's it's his calf. Ow. And then 90 minutes before the first game of the season, Achilles. I hate them forever for that. And then to be like this week, like, 90 minutes before game, we'll let you know.
We'll see. We'll see.
No, dude.
He's playing. You hear that? He is playing though. No. Let's hope Kyle's not pulling.
I don't want to hear it. No, you know what? Yes, you do. The Niners probably do give Kaz nightmares. Beating them at home. Woof.
I'll never forget that story you told about Kaz. We don't gotta get into it. We're getting a little. But it was,
it's one episode without Trail here. We'll get a little off track.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Nah, but like the Packers had like their best season ever, and the Niners beat them first game of the playoffs in the snow, and Kaz was just heated, just. Yeah.
It's crazy because like I'm a big Lions fan, and that CMC thing made me way more mad than losing to the Niners last year in the playoffs did. And that game broke my heart. Like we were up at halftime.
Yeah, that 24/7.
Jones, we got beef with football. Dude, I always sleep on the fact that you're low-key a Niners fan because I think of you as a Steelers
shout out my
fan.
dad. Shout out my pops.
I think you're a Steelers fan. Like,
oh yeah,
yeah.
It's not even close. Like
I know.
It's all Pittsburgh around here, but
then when you start like sneakily being like, yeah, Niners,
just like just sending subs.
Yeah. I forget about it. We should talk hockey. I don't think I want to talk to you about football anymore. More crazy stat comparisons. Kyrou Buchnevich and Robert Thomas, top line there for the St. Louis Blues, combined for 6 goals. Ivan Barbashev of the Vegas Golden Knights has 7 himself.
That's really like the definition of like an early season crazy stat.
It is.
Like,
it is, yeah. Washington, again, a bit of an October stat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go from 2.63 goals per game last season, 28th in the league, to so far 4.11 goals per game this season, 3rd in the NHL. Ooh-wee.
Yeah, it's
Early.
It's whatever.
It's early.
They're better.
Yeah. Ovi's scoring early this
Yeah.
year, which he wasn't last year.
Yeah.
It took Ovi so long to get hot last year.
Yeah, those like
That was gravely concerning.
the washed allegations were forming a RICO.
Yeah. They were.
Yeah.
He saw Sid and he said, you know what, I'm just gonna score. Same thing
Yeah.
he always said.
Yeah.
But he's doing it.
What we got?
Wow,
we already kind of touched on this.
We did touch on this. Yeah, Nashville.
Well, now they got less points.
That's San Jose. Yeah. It's unfortunate. We can move by that. We talked about it.
This is a bit of a Mickey Mouse stat because it's just games played skewing things.
Yeah, like Vancouver has a 611 point percentage that had them in 15th place. Devils had a 571 point percentage, but that had them in 4th place is the stat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is just like games played. The Canucks,
Yeah.
the Devils I've been impressed with. Defense still scares me. I have been very impressed with the team though.
I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah. The Canucks though, I'm actually very impressed with.
I agree. I haven't been the biggest Canucks believer.
Mm-hmm.
Very far from it.
Mhm.
But like these last few weeks, they've been good. Like it's like
Yeah.
there's no fake
Yeah.
run here.
Well,
like,
and like I'll tell you what the big differentiator is for me. Like right now, 6 games straight on the road, they've won. They're like 7-4-3 or something like that. It's not a crazy record by any means, but like besides Quinn Hughes being, I want to get into this. I don't think we're going to get into it this episode, but the second best hockey playing player on earth right now, Besides that, everything's gone wrong for the Canucks. Literally,
Yeah.
every single thing has gone wrong. They've lost a fairly key bottom six player in Dakota Joshua. They've lost their Vezina-nominated starting goaltender. Elias Pettersson looks like a shell of himself. JT Miller is injured and not taking draws. Like, when almost everything goes wrong and you're still, like, racking up points, that's a very good place to be.
Yeah. Where would this team be without Kiefer Sherwood? Ooh-wee. I just don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't either.
I disagree with the Devils. I am not moved.
No.
And I don't want to say I'm not anymore, but in the preseason, in the previews, I was very high on the Devils. I had them
Yeah, you
first
were.
in the Metro.
Mhm.
And like I'm just kind of like, nah, this team is not better than the Rangers.
You know, I think I agree with that.
And maybe I'm just disappointed about that.
I think that's fair.
But yeah, like they played 16 games, and this
Yeah.
is just going
Yeah, they
back
got-
to the stat
Yeah.
that we were looking at. 16 games compared to 12.
Yeah.
So like,
It's not the same.
yeah.
No, the Devils are just like, they're just good.
Yeah. Which is good after like
Yeah. Last
the
season.
train wreck
Yeah.
of last season, yeah.
Okay, we should finish up here. I think
Is that it?
Yeah, I think that's the last one. Or do we have more? Oh, we do have more.
Uh
Hey, Bouchard Broberg, yeah. What do you know? Yeah, I mean, Broberg less cross-eyed, so I get it, more points. But but I mean, like, it's been a slow start for Edmonton. Like, let's not pretend like Bouchard can't put up 9 points in a week.
I agree.
You know
That's
what I
true.
mean? If McDavid gets going or something like that, like a week, literally. I'm not moved.
I genuinely, I don't even want to talk about Edmonton.
Yeah.
At all.
Okay.
But I'm a bit worried. But I'm gonna give it some time. We'll talk in a few weeks.
Again, that's a good like American Thanksgiving
Yeah.
thing to look at. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
Vegas record on the road 7-0. Record on the road 0-3-1.
Record at home 7-0.
A record at home 7-0. Record on the road 0-3-1.
That's just kind of funny. I don't know.
They're like the opposite of the Canucks. I mean, the Canucks have lost 1 on the road, but I feel like I'd way rather be Vegas. Just like it's so much more fun to win at home. You know?
Yeah.
A lot of teams are kind of like that. Like they're usually better. Not like this, but like usually they're better on the road or better at home kind of. And it's much better to be a better at home team, you know, for the fans buying the tickets and things like that.
Yeah. I wonder, like, because this is 6 days old, I wonder if that's still true. Like, the undefeated and the
We'll find
defeated.
out by the pod.
This, I'm willing to bet that this is no longer the case.
I also am willing to bet this is no longer the case after your team on his shoulders Crosby performances over the last week here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as of 6 days ago, Jack Hughes and Sidney Crosby had combined for 24 points, while Michael Granlund and Neil Pionk had combined for 2 more 26 points.
You know, this is really insane. We were just talking about how New Jersey's played more games than anyone.
Yeah.
So Jack Hughes has also played more games than anyone.
So to be on this list is even crazier. Wow. Yeah. Granlund is gaming.
He is. I picked him up in fantasy.
Yeah. Like he might get himself traded.
We gotta work some things out.
Yeah.
We gotta get a little bit more buy-in.
Okay, word.
But
don't talk to me about buy-in. Been begging this group for buy-in.
you don't got the horses going like me.
Whatever.
And you know it too.
I'll see you in the finals. I'm not worried about it. 0-4. I will be in the finals.
That'd be something.
McDavid's goals 3. Holloway's goals 4. Again, October.
Yeah.
Like,
Whatever.
McDavid could have. McDavid's been injured. He might be back tomorrow for the Canucks game. He could have 4 tomorrow night.
Did he play against Vegas the other night?
I don't know. I don't think he did. Did he play?
Why do I feel like I saw something that he was?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
he did.
The Edmonton Oilers lost that game
Nice.
to Vegas in Vegas.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Did that worry you a bit? Was that part of the start of this worry for Edmonton?
No, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll get there. Games played as an Avs forward since 2022.
Gabriel Landeskog, 0. Hate to see it. Oliver
Versus-
Shillington,
Yeah.
1 game at forward. And that guy's a defenseman. You know, we were looking at Colorado's lines.
Yeah.
Like last week, I think. Ivan, yeah.
Ivan.
And you guys didn't, like, I saw it, but I wasn't going to interrupt or anything. Like, I saw Oliver Shillington at left wing. I was like,
left
yo,
wing.
what are we doing?
Damn. Yeah, more games played as a forward than Gabriel Landeskog in the last 2 years is absolutely insane. That's really unfortunate.
Lucas
How many of these
Dostal.
dang
I think there's
slides we got?
I think there's one more after this.
Yeah, crazy NHL stat comparisons. Yeah, first of all, Dostal, who is in this, Dostal's goal saved above expected is 13.6. Whew. Also an early Vezina favorite. Don't buy that. Sorokin, Vasilevsky, and Hellebuck's goals saved above expected combined is over a full point less at 12.5.
Yeah. I am patting myself on the back for my Dostal placement
You are.
in
You
the
should
goalie
be.
tier list.
Yeah.
Shout out to me. This probably isn't true anymore, just because the Canucks did put up 5
They did.
the other night.
They did. But
yeah.
yeah, crazy stat to be sure. Mark Stone's points the last 3 seasons combined are 121. Mark Stone's point pace for this season is 141. Yeah. All right.
That's. I wonder how. Like, obviously it's early, so these are skewed. But like,
Yeah,
I
crazy.
wonder why that's actually.
He was going sicko.
Like, I don't know if it's new line mates or
Yeah, I don't know.
maybe he's like dead ass healthy.
Like actually healthy. Yeah. You would hope that's what that is. I mean, he hasn't like. I mean, he's not healthy. He's day to day again now.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah. Rip,
All right.
dude.
Alexander Gorgiev.
Gorgiev, yeah. Dead last in goals saved above expected and somehow still in the NHL. The shade from this, okay. Versus 48th in goals saved above expected and playing in the AHL in Tristan Jarry. I assume that's who that is.
It is. I mean, it's kind of whatever. This is
yeah,
kind
it's
of
whatever.
like. What I will say though is like, yeah, Gorgiev might not be in the AHL, but that dude ain't playing no games.
No, sir. He got
Mhm.
the drop from me.
I was about to
in
ask, have
fantasy.
you done that yet?
I
'Cause-
did. Got rid of
Yeah.
his bum ass. Get out of here, pal. Okay, we should get out of here. I think this is about to freeze up on us again. And
Dude, I'm kind of like. It looks like it wants to.
I know it does. So
All right.
yeah. This is gonna be it. Real quick, one time because we won't be back until till next week. It'll have already happened. Who you got, Paul or Tyson?
Tyson.
My man.
I'm gonna be so real. Had no clue. I don't know when that's happening.
Next Friday.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't. I got no clue.
Yeah.
But give me Tyson.
You can't not pick Iron Mike. Look, if you're betting money, do it through DraftKings Sportsbook. But I don't know. I don't know where you want to put that. You live your life. I understand why people want to put money on Paul. I personally am not betting against Iron Mike. That's all it is.
I ain't gonna argue. Ain't gonna argue at all.
As always, thank y'all for listening very much. Next week, hopefully, day to day, we will have Trill back. As always, I'm your host, Tico. Tonight, this is our co-host,
Jonesy.
And
Big J.
Big J. It was a pleasure.
It really was.
It was.
I enjoyed this.
Yeah.
I
it was good.
appreciate the opportunity. You know, I think I put a lot of good film on tape.
Yeah.
I finally got the call up.
Yeah, that's right. No, you know what? We'll review it and we'll see where it goes from here. All right.
Alrighty.
Keep your dang head up.
Boom.
Boom.
Stick talk. Stick talk. Stick talk. Stick